symbols of Halloween. This comes from Irish and Scottish folklore and the legend of Stingy Jack. Jack was a trickster who outsmarted the devil himself, but his cleverness came at a cost. When he died, heaven didn't want him, and hell would. You're traveling to another dimension, a dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind. You're traveling to a world of realization, your next stop, infinite balance. Infinite blessings, light leaders. Welcome to part 3 of the real story of Halloween. Let's peel back the candy wrappers and fake cobwebs for a moment, because when you really trace where this holiday came from, what you find is ancient, sacred even. You can literally see how something deeply spiritual got wrapped up in laughter and costumes, but never actually disappeared. It just shifted form. Before there was Halloween, before pumpkin spice lattes and haunted houses, there was Samhain. The ancient Celts didn't call it Halloween. For them, it was the end and the beginning. Samhain was a cosmic threshold, a pause between summer and winter, light and dark. It was a time when the veil between worlds grew thin, when ancestors could whisper on the wind, and the living could feel their presence in the firelight. Now imagine that, no electricity, no streetlights, just massive bonfires glowing on every hilltop, each one like a heartbeat of the land itself. People would dress in animal skins and paint their faces not to scare off ghosts, but to honor them, to blend in with the spirits walking beside them. That was the original Halloween vibe, spiritual respect mixed with deep mystery. Then, centuries rolled forward, empires rose and fell. One day, the Romans arrived, bringing their own traditions, including one called Feralia, a festival to honor their dead. They'd hold feasts, bring offerings, and light candles for those who had crossed over. Sound familiar? When Feralia met Samhain, that was a major fusion moment. The Romans had structure. The Celts had spirit. Feralia's ancestor offerings blended with Samhain's sacred fire, and suddenly two worlds were dancing together. But the remix didn't stop there. Next up, the early Christian church. They saw these powerful autumn rituals, people connecting with unseen worlds and honoring ancestors, and knew they had to redirect that energy. So they did what institutions often do. They tried to rename the vibe. They created All Saints' Day, or All Hallows' Day, on November 1st, to honor saints and holy souls. The night before naturally became All Hallows' Eve. Say that fast a few times. All Hallows' Eve, Halloween, and boom, the modern name was born. But here's the key. People didn't forget where it came from. That spiritual memory was written in their bones. Even as the church tried to rebrand the day, the people kept the magic. They still left food out for wandering spirits. They still lit candles in their windows. They still wore disguises, not out of fear, but as an act of recognition. It was said that on All Hallows' Eve, spirits and other worldly beings could walk among the living. The costumes weren't about scaring things away. They were about blending in, moving through the unseen realm without being noticed. Pretty poetic, right? Now let's talk about the jack-o'-lantern, one of the most iconic symbols of Halloween. This comes from Irish and Scottish folklore and the legend of Stingy Jack. Jack was a trickster who outsmarted the devil himself, but his cleverness came at a cost. When he died, heaven didn't want him, and hell wouldn't take him. He was cursed to wander the earth forever, carrying a single burning coal inside a carved-out turnip to light his way. When Irish and Scottish immigrants came to America, they found pumpkins bigger, brighter, and easier to carve. The pumpkin became Jack's new lantern. It transformed into a symbol of a light for lost souls and a charm to keep the darkness at bay. That's powerful symbolism. Even our spooky traditions are really about light guiding the way through darkness. And what about trick or treat? That's not a modern invention either. It evolved from old customs like souling. Back in the day, children and the poor would go door to door, singing prayers for the dead in exchange for food or coins. It wasn't about a sugar high. It was about community and connection, about remembering those who came before. The trick part was added later, as the sacred night became more playful. representing that eternal dance between order and chaos, reverence and fun. You see, energy doesn't just vanish. It transforms, and Halloween still carries that original frequency of Samhain. It has that same ancient pulse that says, the veil is thin, your ancestors are near, you are part of something bigger. So yes, now we have costumes and candy, haunted houses and horror movies, but underneath all of that, the spirit is still alive. When you carve a pumpkin and light a candle inside, you're performing a ritual older than most civilizations. You're telling the darkness, I see you and I bring light. You're reminding your soul that you are never truly alone, not in life, not in death, not in any dimension in between. And for the starseeds out there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You feel that frequency, that pull toward the cosmic and the mystical. Halloween or Samhain is your reminder that energy never ends. It just shifts, travels, and evolves. It's a night when dimensions overlap and the universe whispers, go ahead, remember where you came from. So next time October 31st rolls around, take a second. Look past the masks and the capes. Feel that hum in the air. That's the same energy the Celts felt thousands of years ago. It's the heartbeat of the earth, reminding you that you're still part of this cosmic story. Halloween isn't just a night of tricks and treats. It's a living memory, a sacred remix, reminding us all that light and dark, life and death have always been dancing together. Stay tuned for part 4, where we're going to take this story straight into the stars. As always, let love, not fear, guide you. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this energy. Peace.